All Black Springboks, folks, the 100th game. It was a test match. 19 points to 17. The All Blacks get it done towards the death with a penalty kick. We'll go through some of the key events of the game, the stats, and you guys can let me know your thoughts. Not a heck of a lot of try scoring, but the game did start with a hiss and a roar. I will say, great weather, great looking stadium, good crowd in attendance. Great anthems, actually. The anthems aren't always sung that well, but the anthems were sung really well. And couple of pango for the haka. The stage was really set for a cracking game between the All Blacks and the Springboks. Now, we did get the edge of the seat finish that you want between these two teams. There was a lot of talk pre-match about, the Springboks aren't up to this after 2 losses to the Wallabies. Nonsense, man. The Springboks were up for it. But admittedly, sometimes the skill level was not there in this game. But personally, I always like a game where it's down to the wire. So in that regard, we were kind of pretty well treated. 6 times the lead changed in this game, if my count is correct. I may have lost count. It may have been 7 if I forgot to count the last one. But anyway, we'll go through the key events. You guys can let me know your thoughts. Taylor's line break from a bad pass early sets up the first try for the All Blacks. It's a pass to grass. Taylor picks it up, beats a couple of Springbok defenders, which has been a bit of an issue for the Springboks as of last week anyway. And it was early in the first half. The Springboks again kind of falling off a few one-on-one tackles. The line break from Taylor, he gets it to Will Jordan, who's running a great support line. The All Blacks are 7-0 up after about 2-3 minutes, and it's looking like this could be ugly. But that being said, speaking of ugly, man, the All Blacks work under the high ball. The first one for the Springboks, points on the board, it's a gift. It's a high ball to George Bridge, who makes an absolute meal of it, and he and several of the other All Blacks guys this week under the high ball were atrocious. The reason the Springboks kept kicking the ball at them is because they would give it back to the Springboks. Why would you not kick it to them if they can't catch the bloody thing? They picked a back 3, which is 3 guys who can play fullback, and none of them really excelled. It was pretty shocking stuff. But Nkosi pounces on a loose ball from George Bridge, and it's a terrible error, but a really smart thing from Nkosi. He looked to be pretty far from the ball, but he made up that distance like lightning, and even he was pumped after scoring his try, because he's usually pretty cool, calm, and collected. But missed the conversion though, a very kickable conversion attempt from Pollard, and you look at that scoreboard and tell me that's not costly. 7 points to 5 at that stage. The All Blacks win a penalty at the breakdown. And then Brody gives away an obstruction penalty. It's kind of a silly one. The Boks actually kicked that one to go in front, 8 points to 7. That's your first lead change. Pollard kicks another penalty on 15. The penalty count's starting to get pretty lopsided against the All Blacks at that stage, although the game will finish kind of with it looking not too bad for the All Blacks actually. 11 points to 7. Khaleesi is everywhere in the start of this game as well. 1 point, he cleans out TJ Perenara, who's just grabbed the ball at the back of a ruck. And then the Springboks, I think, turn the ball over, box kick it. The All Blacks guys gather it. And who's the first one there to tackle? It must have been Will Jordan out on the wing. It's Khaleesi. How did he get up and make that distance that fast? I don't know. He was showing that high work rate, clearly pumped up to kind of lead his team by example. And Will Jordan actually ended up knocking it on from that big Khaleesi hit. So good kind of moments for the Boks. All the momentum after the try, after the first Will Jordan try, is essentially with the Springboks. Added to that was a big South African scrum on 19. The All Blacks were under heaps of pressure, but that's the one line-out the Boks lost. Their line-out rate this game was 10 from 11. They had an attacking one based on a scrum penalty on, 19 minutes? And that's a real let-off, because they didn't get into kind of the All Blacks 22 all that often, and that was, I don't think it was in the 22, it was just outside, but it was a really good chance to set a platform, and they didn't do it. So that was a kind of key moment in the game, I felt. I wrote a note on 25 minutes, the All Blacks keep losing the ball. Bridge is losing the ball under the high kicks. The ABs changed their tactics on 31 and opted for a 3 because they weren't looking like getting the continuity to score a try. It just wasn't looking like it was going to happen. The Springboks defence was causing enough problems, and the All Blacks error rate was that high. You wouldn't have backed the All Blacks to be scoring a try at that point. Pollard did, because it's 10 points to 11 at that time, on the restart, Pollard kicked it out on the full, and he's had his issues, man, with his boot work since he's got to Australia, right? He's missed a few key kicks. Yeah, he's just kind of not that ice-cold guy that we expect of him. I mean, I think he only missed the one kick, but still, it's a pretty brutal one to be missing. Yeah, and then the Boks were offside, so it kind of got worse. It did get even worse, though, because Nkosi got yellow carded for another attempted intercept that kind of like LaRue got the other week. Basically, the one where you stick out your one hand, and if you don't catch it, you're going to get penalised. It's that law that's been around for ages. It's the ultimate risk or reward. You catch it, and you're down the other end under the opposition sticks with an intercept try. You miss it, you're possibly in the naughty boys chair for 10 minutes. Nkosi couldn't regather it. And sure enough, the All Blacks opt for the 3 points in front. So they do go into the sheds 2 points in front at half time. That's how they would finish, 2 points in front. But yeah, the All Blacks have had more possession, 57%, more territory, 53%. But they've had 5 knock-ons to the Boks 2. More run meters, 220 to 69 at half time. Kicks from hand is 20 by the Boks by half time, which is quite a lot. 10 by the All Blacks. The All Blacks are tackling at 90% by halftime. The Springboks are at 75%. They've missed a few tackles. But as I said, the All Blacks have been turning the ball over 10-5 as the total turnovers conceded, not just including knock-ons. So, yeah, both sides with a wee bit to work on. Coaches would have had a fair few things to say at halftime. Second half, the All Blacks go back to their plan of opting for the corner, trying to get tries. They've still got Nkosi in the bin, so you can kind of see what they're trying to do there. They're trying to capitalise having the extra man. But they lost the line-out, and the line-out was atrocious. The Springboks line-out defence was great. They did then immediately, though, win a turnover and then knock it on. That was kind of the story of this game. All Blacks set an attacking chance. The Springboks turned them over. Then the All Blacks turned them over, and then the All Blacks knock it on. Like, that little passage of play summed up a lot of how this game went. Like, yeah, kind of individual little battles that were just kind of going chopping and changing. So yeah, it was a bit bonkers. 44 minutes, the All Blacks go for the corner again. They maul it, and the maul fails. So yeah, the Springboks maul defense was solid. The Springboks actually set fewer mauls than the All Blacks in this game. So why the All Blacks didn't try to spin it a bit from their line-out options, I guess it's because they couldn't even secure the bloody line-out ball, so they figured go to the front and just maul. But that wasn't doing much either. So it was a bit of a struggle. 50 minutes, the All Blacks knock-ons I wrote are getting painful. But then the Boks, when they finally actually threw it around a little bit, threw it into touch. So it was a bit also kind of less than stellar number 1, number 2 in the world kind of clash stuff. I did write a note that New Zealand seemed to be getting slightly long advantages. There was one, and even the New Zealand commentary team picked up on it. It started in the 22. They went well into the Springboks half, and they called it back for an advantage. That's the kind of stuff that doesn't need to be happening, especially when the penalty count ends up being 16-10 against the Boks. That's kind of, yeah, some of them, it's like the Vermeulen one in the air, the aerial contest, was it with Bowden? It looked like a genuine contest, but Vermeulen got penalised for that one, so it's a bit soft. Not ones that social media will look on kindly anyway. New Zealand did get penalised, and Pollard kicked that one from in front, so they went back in front 14 points to 13. Then South Africa were offside, New Zealand back in front 16-14. Vermeulen, like I mentioned, his penalty in the air, which I mentioned was a fair contest, but then All Blacks collapsed the South African maul, which was maybe a little bit cynical on 66 minutes. Pollard still kicks it, so it's 17 points to 16. The All Blacks had their chances to attack down the Springbok end. They had a shocking line out on 75 minutes. Couldn't win the bloody thing, but they did manage to get in front with about 3 minutes to go. Geordie Barrett had a huge kick, long distance and with an angle, but he nailed it, and that was from LaRue not releasing the ball. Tupai got over the ball legitimately, and yeah, LaRue got pinged, so 19 points to 17 is the way it finishes. Now, interestingly, there was about 2 minutes to go, and the All Blacks had the ball. It's too long to run the clock, so they kicked it to South Africa, but South Africa kicked it back, which seems like it's one where you're kind of torn because you're like, man, you've got less than 2 minutes. You can't give the ball back when you're the one chasing the game. But then also, the All Blacks have been that terrible under the high ball. If you kick it to the All Blacks, it's almost like you got a really good chance they're going to knock it on, or they're going to give it straight back to you. You know, they'll miss it completely. So That's the one time that like Geordie Barrett secured that one pretty flawlessly. So yeah, that was a key take from him. He gets that clutch kick and he gets that clutch high ball. So yeah, very good stuff from Geordie. The All Blacks did kick it back to them, so the South Africans had a chance to run it out from their own 22. They got to about halfway, just over, before they ended up conceding. Was it a knock on? And then the All Blacks kicked it out. So yeah, game over. Crazy stuff, man. Like I said, the execution and skill levels at times were not the best. Like the All Blacks handling, first half Springboks kind of one-on-one tackles at times, not great. But it was edge of your seat stuff. It was kind of classic test match, All Blacks Springboks rugby, 2-point game. A conversion is the only difference. Run meters 378 to 236. Position and territory is actually, position's pretty close, 51-49 to the Boks, but territory 57-43 to the All Blacks. The line out, the All Blacks are 17 wins out of 21 attempts, so they missed way too many. As I mentioned, the Boks were 10 from 11. Clean breaks only 4-2, so kind of both sides pretty quiet in that department. Tackling percentage 86% for the All Blacks, 87% for the Boks. The Boks actually came good in the second half. Made a similar amount of tackles. Turnovers conceded 23 to 8. The All Blacks on the wrong end of that number, including 14 knock-ons to the Boks 4. All Blacks handling really bad. Penalties conceded, as I mentioned, 16-10. So the Springboks on the wrong side of that one. Yeah, why did the All Blacks keep mauling it? I don't know. Why were they struggling so much into the high ball? I don't know. Too many knock-ons. A little bit concerning, I guess the Springboks guys didn't really get a heck of a lot of ball in hand. Like Van Staden finishes their top runner. He came on and got a line break. He gets like 50-something run meters. Everyone else, like the best guys, have like 20 run meters for the Boks, which is, again, you've got guys who can do better than that. So does the formula need to change? Probably not, but maybe they can express themselves a wee bit more than what we're seeing at the moment. But anyway, as I said, the game plan almost worked because the All Blacks really struggled under the high ball pressure they were put under. So yeah, Geordie Barrett is the man of the hour. Give him the man of the match award if you got one because of his boot. That high ball take at the end. Pretty solid stuff. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts. There's still Australia and Argentina to go. But this does wrap up the Rugby Championship 2021 for the All Blacks. So congratulations to these guys. They've won it with a game in hand. And we will see the next match between these two guys next week. Will it be an equally close one? Will we see more than 2 tries? We'll have to wait and see. You guys have any thoughts? And I'll talk to you guys soon. See you later.